what I want to present to you here is a bit of a pit that some people end up falling into, right? There's a bit of a self-awareness spiral that doesn't lead anywhere good. Have you ever heard of the term procrastination, right? Some people think that mindfulness is about thinking of all eventualities and just... Sometimes we can take that too far, right? Life's all about balance. So living life in a mindful way is about living life in a mindfully balanced way, right? Choosing balance, knowing when to kind of stop, making effort in some areas. We know when it's time to make certain decisions. We know when it's time to step up. We know when it's time to step down. The endless spiral of self-awareness, all right? It's all about self-evaluation. You know, sometimes we can overthink things. Do you have a fast-paced mind? As you can probably gather, I do. I've got a very, very fast-paced mind. Hence the reason, becoming disciplined in mindfulness was so crucial for me back in my late 20s, early 30s. It allowed me to bring order and structure and definition into my life in all areas, not just how I feel. That was irrelevant back then. The self-evaluation that is involved in developing self-awareness can lead some people into this very, very unhealthy and unhelpful downward spiral. All right, I'm going to show you how this works in a few moments. That doesn't always end up somewhere beneficial. Now, it's good, it's healthy to reflect. I like to see self-awareness as being like a stack of pancakes. You have layers of self-awareness. All right, so what I want to do, just for demonstration stroke illustration purposes, I want to show you how not to drive your own self-reflection. All right, so let's just say, for example, just bring in the example here into the context of what I'm actually doing as I'm speaking to you right now. I'm aware that I'm speaking to you right now. Granted, it's from the other side of a device or a screen or a TV or whatever, but I'm speaking to you right now. On a level. On another level, I'm aware that I'm not communicating perfectly. I sometimes say or ah, or I've got better at this over the years, but I'm aware that I'm not communicating perfectly. I'm aware on this level. I'm also aware that I'm speaking to you right now. I'm aware that you might misinterpret something that I say. I'm aware that you have biases. I'm aware that I might say something that you disagree with. And rather than hearing me out or giving me the benefit of the doubt, I'm aware that you might just decide that I'm a really bad man. All right, you might hate me already. I've got no idea. I'm aware that you could very, very easily take offense at something that I say, not because of what I say, but because of how you interpret what I say. Because I'm aware that not all people are grounded in self-awareness. I'm aware of this. So I'm also aware that if you take offense, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to end up blaming me for your feelings, for your offense. Kind of like your feelings are my responsibility, even though we've never met. Even though I'm just like on the other side of a screen, I'm aware that this could be true because from experience I've had this before. I'm also aware, layer 6 now, that you possibly have expectations on what this course is going to be. And I'm also aware that if I don't meet your expectations, you're going to end up most likely being disappointed, and you're also going to blame me for this. If this course ends up being something that you weren't expecting, then you take offense, then it's my fault. So rather than the course being okay, just being what it is, like what I created it and intended it to be, if it doesn't meet your expectations, who didn't create it, you take offense and I'm the bad guy. Why? Because I've also experienced this. I've had people blame me for, disappointing them. It's kind of like your expectations are my responsibility or something like that. So I get it. If I don't meet your expectations, you'll be disappointed. I also understand that throughout this training, I will say somewhat unusual and sometimes some impolitically correct things. Why? Because I'm just being authentic here. So of course I'm going to have little slips. I'm going to say some things that some people could take offense at. Not because I'm here to offend people, it's just because I'm just being myself. So on another level of self-awareness now, there's a pretty high chance that I'm judged unfairly by someone. Oh, well, that kind of sucks. I mean, I really don't enjoy being judged unfairly by people because as I reflect even further, in the past when I've been judged, I've not liked that, it hurts, it's kind of like rejection. So if I stay on this spiral and immerse myself in this own little world of mine, then by the time I reach 127, layer 127, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to come to the conclusion that maybe I shouldn't create this training course. Maybe I should just go and get a sensible job or something like that. All right, listen, just a little bit of fun. It's an example to show you how self-reflection is great, self-awareness is great, but let us not become lost in our own thought. All right? Becoming lost in thought is different from being self-aware. Sometimes we can overthink things. Sometimes we do overthink things. Sometimes we give some things a whole load more thought than what they deserve. Sometimes we just need to be aware of why we're making the decisions that we're making and then act upon them. Because without all of this, I'm aware that I'm speaking to you right now, but I'm also aware that I'm doing my best. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not the greatest communicator in the world, by far the best teacher, but I am doing my best. All right, which that will give me the basis for continuing to keep on keeping on. All right, so what I'm showing you here, hopefully through demonstration, illustration, is that we don't really want to take this kind of spiral of self-awareness, self-reflection, much beyond layer 2 or layer 3. It's good to be aware of our immediate surroundings, the immediate impact that our actions are going to make, but outside of that, we can't control how other people react to us. In the same way that I can't control how it is that you respond or react to me, you can't control how other people react or respond to you. So in the same way that I'm just going to commit to the process of doing my best, when it comes to you and your life, you might as well just commit to the process of doing your best also. Why? Because people have bias, they're going to judge. They're going to judge unfairly anyway. That we cannot control, but we can control whether we do our best in life, in relationships, through our works, in our efforts, or whether we don't. All right. The endless spiral of self-awareness. Many get caught in the trap of looking one level deeper than what they ever needed to. All right, which ends up giving birth to fear, sometimes doubt, and sometimes uncertainty. If you find yourself being one of those people who ends up just overthinking things, and what about this, and what about that, and what about the next thing, unless you discipline your mind to snap out of this, which is just a habitual thinking pattern, you can end up unknowingly sabotaging your best efforts, and sometimes some of the things you actually want to do with your life, well, you'll actually never even get started because you'll talk yourself out of doing those things before you even think to begin.